Hi, it's Barry Neal from hypnosisessex.com, and in this video what I want to talk about is how you can get new results in your life. How do you begin to make changes in the way you think, feel and behave so you can get new results in your life? So right now, if there was one concern you have, I'm wondering what that would be. Maybe it's to overcome anxiety, maybe it's to break out of a pattern of depression, maybe it's to have a better relationship with your parents or your children, or maybe it's to get a new job and to have the confidence to do that. So you have, in effect, a target that you want. And that target is really the results you want. That's really what you want. You want different results. And if you're going to get different results in your life, then you have to take new actions. Because it's our actions which lead to our results. And so in order to take new actions, you need to start doing things differently. If you want new results, you've got to take new actions. And the thing is, it's never been about capability. People are amazing. They can do absolutely amazing things. But what they will do is often disappointing. And a lot of times this has to do with what emotional state they are in. Now, I'm going to draw a head here. I've never really been good at art. So it's what emotional state we're in. Because if you're in a bad state, you're going to take bad actions and you're going to get bad results. So for example, if there's something that you want to do, I don't know whether that may be to overcome anxiety or depression, or to get that new job, or have a better relationship with your friends or family or whoever, whatever it is, if you're in a state of fear, you're going to take lousy action and you're going to get lousy results. And then you're going to say, you know, that didn't work, and I knew that wasn't going to work, and you end up reinforcing that negative state. But if you were in a different state, if you were in a state of courageousness, for example, or playfulness, or excitement, you are going to take new actions and you're going to get new results. And this is what we want to do. Now, that begs the question, well, how do I get in a better state when I feel like crap? Well, I'm glad you asked, because that's the whole purpose of this video. And in order to do that, you need to first learn how to change your state. And there are two ways to do that. The first way is to change your physiology. The fastest way to change your state is to change your physiology. This has been known for some time. In NLP, we've been talking about this for years. The fastest way to change your emotional state is to make a radical change in your physiology. And what happens is that you start changing the biochemistry in your body. Now, we've all known this, and I'm sure you know it as well, although you may not have been conscious of it. Right now, if I was to say to you, outside your door, there is someone who's depressed, they're really depressed, and if I said to you, look, I'll give you £10,000 if you can describe to me their physiology, i.e. how they're using their body. So for example, if that person was depressed, would their head be up or would it be down? It would be down, right? How would they be speaking? Would they be speaking in a loud, expressive voice, or would they be slow and quiet? They'd be slow and quiet, wouldn't they? How would they be breathing? Would they be taking in big lungfuls of breath, or would they be breathing shallowly? They'd be breathing shallowly. Now, you already know this. This is not news to you, but you may not have applied it to yourself, because I guarantee you that if you are in a state of anxiety or in depression or fear, you are using your body in exactly the same way. And the more you continue to do that, the more you'll stay in those states. So you need to start breaking out of that limiting physiology. Start using your body radically differently. Start breathing differently. Start using bigger gestures. Make better sounds with your voice. Use your voice differently. I've noticed so many times people with anxiety, that they breathe high up in their chest, really high, and they have a little high, wispy voice. They're not using their voice properly, not breathing properly. Now, we've been using this in NLP for many, many years, but there was a study done a few years ago by a researcher called Amy Cuddy at Harvard, and she talks about something that she calls power poses. And if you haven't seen her TED talk, it's really worth watching because it will highlight this in more detail. And what she talks about is if you take these things she calls power poses, and for example, you remember how Superman or Wonder Woman used to stand with their hands on their hips, with their feet spread apart, hands on the hips like this, head right back. Well, she found that if you breathe deeply in this position and hold this position for just 2 minutes, what will happen is you'll increase your levels of testosterone by 20%, man or woman. You'll also lower the stress hormone, cortisol, by 22%, and that you are 33% more likely to follow through on your action after you've done that. So if you were to do that just sort of like 2 minutes a day, it's going to radically change the physiology, the biochemistry in your body, and you're going to begin to get different results. Another thing you can do, again, this is typical of people who have anxiety or depression. When they go into a state of anxiety or depression, as I said before, their bodies tend to go almost into like a fetal position. The shoulders come forward, they breathe differently, and they seem to be looking down. So what I'd like you to do, and you can do this right now, and I want you to do this and follow along because you'll notice straight away the difference in your body just by making a radical change. So here we go. So stand yourself up, stand in this position, feet shoulder width apart, and then just think about something that depresses you or makes you anxious. Roll your shoulders forward, put your head down, look at the ground, start to feel a little bit of that feeling come up. And then very quickly, I want you to snap up. Take a deep breath and exhale it out really quickly. And then do it again. Go down. And straight away, notice that you've got more energy in your body. Straight away, you're using your body differently. Just in that couple of seconds, you have radically changed your physiology. And so what I want you to do now is to realize that changing your physiology is one of the fastest ways to change your state. There have been numerous studies now that show that if you have depression, for example, one of the best ways of treating depression is by exercising. Just by either going to a gym or going running for about 30 days, you massively change your depression. In fact, they've proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that you take an exercise, some form of vigorous exercise on a daily basis, is more effective than the best antidepressant drugs that are out there. And it's not just because you're firing off new hormones in your body and feel-good chemicals, it's because you're radically changing your body. Other ways of doing that, for anxiety, they know now that if you take a cold shower every morning, that will radically change your physiology and break out of the anxiety. Now, I'm not suggesting that you go and spend 10 minutes in a freezing cold shower, but when you have a shower in the morning, have a normal shower and then turn it on to cold for about 15, 20 seconds. See how long you can stand it. And then build up gradually on a daily basis until you're just having a cold shower. Now, I'm not going to tell you that you're going to enjoy that. I've been doing it for years, and every morning I think of some excuse why today is the day when I shouldn't do that. I'll come up with some excuse. But I know that it's going to make massive changes in my physiology. It reduces inflammation. And what it does also is it gets you to do things that perhaps you don't like to do, and sends a message to your brain that there may be loads of things out there that I don't like to do, but I can do them. So I highly recommend that you start taking cold showers on a daily basis. It radically will change your physiology, it will change your state, and it will lower the inflammation. There's loads of research on how beneficial cold showers are. So that's step one, is to change your physiology in some way. And in other videos, I'll be talking about other ways in which you can do that. The second way of changing your state is by changing your focus. Right now, I want you to stop and have a look around your room and notice everything in your room that's brown. Just look around, notice everything in your room that's brown. And now close your eyes and tell me everything in the room that's green. Open your eyes. And you're probably thinking, hang on a minute, you told me to look at everything that was brown. Yeah, I did. And you missed everything that was green in your room. And this is what we often do, is when we are in a negative state, we only tend to focus on all the things like that. And this has to do with something called our reticular activating system. We start focusing on those particular things and only notice those. You may have had this experience if you've ever bought a new car before, then suddenly you start seeing that same car everywhere you go, even though you may not have noticed it before you bought that new car. They were there, but you just didn't notice it. So changing your focus is one of the key ways in which you can change your state. So here's one of the ways of doing that, and that's by using better quality of questions. If you ask yourself, why am I always anxious? Your brain will go in that direction and come up with all those reasons why you're anxious. So what we want to do is start using better quality of questions. So right now, what I want you to do, I'm going to ask you a question. What are you most proud of in your life right now? Now, I know some of you are going to say, nothing. What if you could be? What could you be proud of right now? And it could be something that's happening right now. It could be something that happened years ago as a child. Just stop and think, what is something you're proud of? And really go back in your mind to that time when you felt really proud. That's right, put yourself back into that time when you felt really, really proud. And maybe, you know, like a kid, when you're a young kid, if you're proud of something, you put that big silly grin on your face. Look at me, what I did. Put a silly grin on your face like that. And notice how that changes how you feel. What about excitement? What could you be excited about right now? And you could say, nothing, my life is so terrible. Okay, what could you be excited about? If there's some miracle occurred right now, what could you be excited about? And start thinking about that. And stand as if you were standing, as if you were totally excited. Breathe how you're breathing if you were totally excited. And start making the sort of gestures like this, going, yeah, yeah, yeah. Imagine you're like maybe a football match or a sports event. What can you be really excited about right now? And as you do this, notice how that changes how your state is. And in this state, you can take new actions and you're going to get different results. And you'll do this every time. So what I want you to do now is for the next 30 days to start changing your state. Either go and exercise, use this thing that I showed you earlier. There's numerous other exercises which I'll be coming to in other videos. Maybe take cold showers. Start using your body differently. If you find yourself sitting on the sofa slumped down, going, oh, I'm so depressed, get out of it. Do something. This is your life. You've got to make the changes yourself. There is never going to be a miracle pill that's going to break you out of this stuff. You've got to do it, and you can do it. So what I want you to do now is for the next 30 days, if you find yourself in any type of negative state whatsoever, recognize that you are doing it through your physiology and your focus. So get yourself up, use your body differently, start making bigger gestures, breathe deeply, strut around the room as if you're Superman. Anything, do something different, and then start focusing on something else. Focus on solutions, focus on what are you most proud of. What if you were to wake up every day and the first thing you asked yourself is, what am I most grateful for? What am I most grateful for today? And again, you might say nothing. That's not going to help you. What could you be grateful for? Well, I could be grateful for my health. I could be grateful for the fact I live in a country where they're not dropping bombs on my head every day. I could be grateful for the fact that I'm above ground. You know, someone once said, a great rule to have, every day above ground is a good day. So what could you be grateful for? And then at the end of the day, as you're lying in bed at night, start going over, what am I most grateful for that happened today? What could I be grateful for? What am I most proud of? And what you're going to do is you're going to start conditioning in your mind to focus in a new direction. And if you do this, trust me, it's going to change your life. If you start using your body differently and changing your focus, you are going to break out of those habits of anxiety or depression or panic whatever. You are going to be in a different state. You will take new actions and you will get new results. So that's my challenge for you for the next 30 days. Go ahead and do that. And once again, if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to contact me either on YouTube or on my website or on my Facebook page. Until the next time, this is Barry Neal from hypnosisessex.com. Practice what we've been talking about, and I promise you it will change your life. See you soon.